Same shit that everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next. Watch. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? You gonna be just like everybody else. Watch. Watch.
Canelo versus Crawford is just around the corner, and the tension shows no signs of cooling down. In the latest press conference, Canelo and Crawford once again exchanged verbal jabs. It all began when Canelo responded to a question about their previous press conference, where the two had physically shoved each other.
But I didn't. He did before. He tried to welcome me back, and it just was my reaction. That's it. I think he don't did them because he really wanted to do. I think Turki Al-Ashi told him, you need to do something. And he did. He did. And now...
Not only that, after the press conference, Crawford made it clear he's been laughing at Canelo's antics and actually enjoys all the drama surrounding this fight.
Laughed at it, as you can see. You know, I love things like that. You know, it excites me. I'm more motivated than ever now.
Terence Crawford spoke about the previous press conference when Canelo Alvarez shoved him during the face-off. He clarified that the push didn't shake him in any way and has no impact on the approach he's bringing to this fight.
Nothing, you know what I mean? Like, that little push didn't do nothing, as you can see. But come fight time, we're not going to be pushing, we're going to be punching, so it doesn't even matter.
Not just the last press conference, this one also featured an intense death stare face-off. New boxing promoter Dana White, who previously worked under the UFC banner, had to personally step in to separate the two. This is not just a fight, it's an event of a lifetime, bringing together two men who have dominated multiple weight classes, collected belts like trophies, and silenced critics at every turn in the same ring. Canelo Alvarez reflected on his bout with Billy Joe Saunders, explaining how that experience still fuels him. He recalled Saunders' actions and attitude before the fight, which angered him enough to enter the ring with greater ferocity and determination. By sharing this, he hinted that something similar could happen when he faces Crawford.
For Bud Crawford, you know, a lot of MMA fans, UFC fans, may not have ever seen you fight before. And they might tune in because Dana and the UFC are involved. So what has it been like maybe introducing yourself to a lot of MMA fans?
Canelo Alvarez revealed that he lost respect for Crawford because of certain statements Crawford made, particularly when he said he doesn't believe in meeting others' expectations. According to Canelo, it almost felt like Crawford had something to prove or something weighing on his chest during the press conference.
A little bit more personal because, you know, I did respect him. I don't respect him anymore because he say, I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that. And then he tried to, maybe Turki Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So and he tried to like he walked me back, and that's why I pushed him. And you know, like I say, don't fuck with me.
Does it bring a different Canelo then?
Yeah, it's different.
Canelo made another bold statement at the press conference, where in front of the media and boxing officials he openly claimed it might be Turkey's order for Crawford to walk him down, which sparked chaos during the last face-off. He warned that trying to mess with him would ultimately end Crawford's career.
Before I respect his word because he say, oh, I'm not gonna let somebody to tell me what I need to do, and he did. So, but you know me. Just I respect everybody, but if you me, so it's gonna be different. You know.
Listen.
Hey, we know, buddy. We know.
First and foremost.
We know.
Meanwhile, in a heated exchange between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, Crawford reacted to rumors from Canelo's camp claiming he was scared. He confronted Canelo face-to-face to prove he wasn't afraid, signaling that he was taking control of the fight's build-up. However, Canelo clarified that he never made such claims himself, pointing out that it was actually Crawford's uncle who said it.
Somebody was in the room saying that I was scared of them. So I stepped to him and showed him who was the boss of this fight. I ain't scared of shit.
Hey, I never say that. Your uncle say that, not me.
Crawford remained firm, insisting that he fears no one. He promised Canelo would realize that once they step into the ring, and reminded everyone how, during their previous press appearance, he didn't hesitate to confront Canelo, despite him being the naturally bigger fighter.
I ain't scared of shit, and you're gonna find that out. As you seen, the last press conference,
We'll see.
when I walked you down, when you supposed to be the bigger man.
Yeah, hey, you say that because you're fighting with nobody, and you obviously look like you're a great fighter. But you find out September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
And it's gonna be different from you as well.
On one side stands Canelo Alvarez, the pride of Mexico and the current undisputed super middleweight champion. With 63 wins, just 2 losses, and 39 knockouts, he's faced a who's who of boxing elites, Gennady Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, Sergey Kovalev, and Caleb Plant. While fans and fighters hyped the magnitude of this clash, Eddie Hearn quietly toned down the Crawford buzz. Initially hesitant, he now admits this is going to be a monumental night for Canelo.
And you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo, so we'll see.
No, Canelo's an all-time great. He's an incredible fighter, and look, I actually think this is a bad fight for him, because
Eddie Hearn admitted his leaning toward Canelo but painted a scenario where the fight will be anything but easy for either man. He acknowledged that Crawford's unique style, with sharp timing, slick movement, and constant adjustments, could turn the ring into a chessboard where Canelo might have to play catch-up.
I mean, he'll engage a lot more than Skull, but he will be looking to do all the things where people have had success, which is use movement. Look at what Bivol did. Bivol had the perfect game plan. He boxed off the back foot, then he attacked, then he moved, then he, all that kind of stuff. And then Crawford will be looking to do exactly the same.
Hearn went on to emphasize that Crawford views this fight as more than just another title or massive payday. For him, it's the ultimate mission. Hearn explained that Crawford sees this as his chance to shed the label of merely being a technical genius and step into the realm of greatness, the kind that cements a place in boxing history. In Hearn's view, Crawford isn't chasing clout, he's chasing legacy.
He's a fight that's probably quite personal to him to prove himself as a great. And there is no doubt that if he wins this fight, he's a great, he's a pound-for-pound tremendous fighter, but...
However, he also addressed the elephant in the room, the size gap. Crawford is a natural welterweight at 147 pounds, while Canelo has long reigned as the 168 pounds champion. Although the weight difference was obvious, Crawford kept calling out Canelo's name. The interesting part was that Canelo never closed the door. Instead, he left it open, saying if the business lined up correctly, he would take the fight seriously.
47, obviously 154 now, but the money's the money, and he was never going to turn it down.
Canelo has fought and beaten champions across 4 different weight classes, rising from a teenage prospect to one of the sport's biggest pay-per-view stars of the modern era. He has built an empire inside and outside the ring, known for his sharp counterpunching, granite chin, and relentless body shots that wear opponents down. At the press conference, he appeared calmer and more composed than Bud. Canelo shared his thoughts on working with Dana White and the team of organizers behind this mega event. He made it clear he doesn't see UFC and boxing as rivals, instead appreciating the collaboration and acknowledging White and UFC fighters. He said, "People make it look like we're competing, but I know I'm not. I've always liked Dana White. I respect all UFC fighters, and I believe we can show the world that together we can do big things. So I'm very happy to work with Dana White and, of course, everyone involved in this big fight, like Netflix. I've always liked him, and he knows that." As for Crawford, this fight presents a whole new challenge. Now, it's time to see how this new version of him performs. Antonio Tarver spoke confidently about Terence Crawford's mindset, saying he carries a rare energy that separates great fighters from the rest, a fearless, commanding presence that legendary athletes possess, a mentality that silences doubt and refuses to see any opponent as a threat.
Bro, I've been telling y'all for the longest, that boy got that energy. And you know what energy I'm talking about. What is that? Tarver energy. Yes, sir. Tarver. He got that. And so when you get that, we don't see nobody, bro.
Tarver then turned his attention to Canelo Alvarez with a more critical perspective. He acknowledged Canelo's toughness but noted that the Mexican star hasn't faced a true test in some time, and his movement in the ring hasn't looked as sharp recently. Tarver cautioned that comfort can be dangerous, as it can cause even the best fighters to take their foot off the gas.
Now he in there with a dog, Canelo. Now the Canelo footwork ain't been what it's supposed to be lately, and he hasn't a real threat in a long time. Now sometimes we can get so comfortable in that zone, but now you got to go down deep to get ready for Crawford. You feel me?
We all know by now that Crawford is a master technician with a 41-0 record and 30 KOs, a switch-hitting puzzle that no opponent has solved to date. Since moving up to 140, he has been virtually unchallenged, dominating the 147-pound division and dismantling Errol Spence Jr. in a performance that shocked the boxing world. He even recently captured a world title at 154 pounds. In a bold move, he's now stepping up yet another division to face the most formidable man at 168. Rarely have I seen ambition like this, and hardly anyone who could actually pull it off. Frank Martin weighed in on the difference between the strategies William Skull and Terence Crawford might use against Canelo Alvarez. Canelo's last fight led Skull to adopt a more evasive style, which Martin criticized as being far too defensive. However, he doesn't expect Crawford to take that same approach.
But I don't think Terence gonna run from Canelo as much as that guy did. I feel like he gonna box for sure, but he gonna sit down on some shots. He gonna fight in spurts against Canelo, I feel.
Martin believes that while Crawford may be outsized by Canelo, he'll always hold key advantages like speed to level the playing field. He further explained that it's entirely possible for Crawford to beat Canelo, as being the smaller man often means being the quicker one.
Quicker than him and
Fast. Sometimes, man, like, just because a guy bigger, it don't always mean, like, he can crack, but, it's like Terence he gonna be the faster, he gonna be the quicker fighter, the more explosive fighter, too, I feel like.
He highlighted the disadvantages smaller fighters face against bigger opponents, but seamlessly combined rational arguments showing how faster, smaller fighters can gain an edge over taller, heavier foes. From his reasoning, it's clear why speed should be respected when matched against size and physicality in closely contested fights.
Man, don't mean nothing. A lot of times them guys be slower,
Yeah.
When a smaller guy come up to a higher weight, you just can't get hit by the bigger guy, especially if he a puncher. But a lot of times the smaller guy have an advantage, I feel like, because they quicker.
This is a battle that could redefine greatness for Crawford. If he defeats Canelo, a naturally bigger fighter who has proven his skill in every style, he would become the first male boxer in the four-belt era to hold undisputed titles in 3 weight divisions. It's something never achieved before, not by Mayweather, not by Pacquiao, not even by Roy Jones Jr. This would be history written in bold capital letters. Among those rallying against Canelo are some of his former opponents, with one notable voice being Floyd Mayweather Jr., the man who handed Canelo one of his toughest defeats. Back in 2013, a young Canelo wasn't just beaten by Mayweather, he was thoroughly dominated in spectacular fashion.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
The weight gap might influence the fight, but in terms of physical advantages, both men seem evenly matched. That's why both camps exude confidence. Trainer Brian "Bo-Mac" McIntyre mirrored his fighter's energy, not with fiery words, but with a calm certainty that spoke volumes. His statements carried no trash talk or bravado, only the quiet confidence of someone who knows exactly what his fighter can do. He stressed that while their strategy will remain under wraps, the outcome is already clear in his mind. Bo-Mac wasn't interested in theatrics or media hype. His focus stayed on the grind, the preparation, discipline, and trust built over years together. All of that, he believes, will deliver victory. "We're just going to get out there and win. Do whatever we need to do to win," he said. "I ain't giving out no game plan, but what everybody thinks, I just know we're going to win." Statistically, Crawford even boasts a higher knockout ratio, 73% compared to Canelo's 63.9%, an impressive feat given most of his career was in lighter divisions. Still, rivals being rivals, Oscar de la Hoya has criticized the fight, the organizers, and even the dinner Canelo and Crawford attended with Turki Alalshik.
The ridiculous promotion of Canelo Crawford has given me lots of good ammunition. First, Let's take it back to last week when this photo was taken of Canelo and Crawford having dinner together. Like they're best friends. I love you, man. They're buddies, like they were family friends.
Oscar de la Hoya expressed his frustration when speaking about the fight, criticizing the overly polished, friendly tone between the fighters, which he believes has stripped boxing of its edge. He argued that fans don't tune in to watch mutual admiration. They come for fire, tension, and the raw energy that makes a fight feel like a looming war. De la Hoya compared today's pre-fight atmosphere to past rivalries, noting that legendary clashes like Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier or Mike Tyson versus Mitch Green would never have carried the same intensity if those fighters had been seen casually dining together beforehand.
Can you imagine Muhammad Ali or like Joe Frazier having dinner together? Can you imagine Mike Tyson and Mitch Green before a brawl? What the f? No boxing fan wants to see two fighters having dinner together.
We could have a dinner on Wednesday night.
He doubled down, insisting that boxing's true allure lies in the build-up, the tension and emotional stakes that make every round feel like life or death. When the promotional narrative feels forced or overly polished, he argued, the spark that captivates fans is lost.
Bad blood. We want anticipation. We want to feel like an actual war is about to happen. Not caviar and champagne together while they're staging their trilogy. Jesus Christ.
Oscar made it personal by advising Bud to bring up the controversy surrounding Canelo's failed drug test linked to tainted meat, a scandal that has haunted Canelo for years. It was a calculated move from De La Hoya to ignite real tension and change the emotional tone of the promotion. He mocked the current build-up, saying, I mean, come on. Anybody else not buying this? Nobody's got time for this. Crawford, if you really want to make Canelo mad, just tell the truth about him and his tainted meats. But this fight isn't just about stats or numbers, it's about legacy. Crawford enters as a two-time undisputed champion with nothing left to prove, yet he craves the challenge that only immortality can bring. Canelo, on the other hand, has ruled for so long that the only way to maintain his throne is by destroying the man many believe will dethrone him. British boxing journalist Gareth A. Davies offered a stark reminder of what Crawford is stepping into. In a raw and unfiltered take, he didn't sugarcoat what this fight could become.
Fight for both men. Canelo always looks for the knockout, as he says. He will be planting his feet. And as I said to Terence, are you prepared to be hit harder than you've ever been hit before? Obviously he doesn't want to be hit, but Canelo will hit him harder than anyone he's probably been in against. I know.
Davies laid it out plainly. Canelo isn't coming to box pretty, he's coming to hurt. He fights flat-footed, plants his feet, and hunts for the knockout like a man on a mission. And Crawford? He's never taken punches like the ones Canelo is about to deliver. That's the real test, not just of skill, but of durability, heart, and sheer willpower. This won't just be tactical chess, it's going to be a war where every clean shot could change everything. The chilling question Davies leaves hanging is this: is Crawford truly prepared for that level of fire?
Errol Spence hits hard, but it wasn't the same Errol Spence that he fought. And he's up against one of the all-time greats of Mexican boxing on September the 13th at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's a really big fight for him. It's a legacy fight because his resume isn't anything like Saul Canelo Alvarez's legacy.
The heat, the drama, and the anticipation have already proven this isn't just another boxing match. It's a collision of legacies, pride, and raw emotion. With every press conference, every quote, and every stare-down, the fire only burns brighter. Whether it's mutual respect or bitter rivalry, calm strategy or boiling tension, one thing is certain. When Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford finally step into that ring, the world will be watching to see who leaves with history on their side. If you felt the energy in this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more real fight talk, and drop your prediction in the comments. Is Crawford really getting under Canelo's skin, or will the Mexican superstar silence all doubt once again? Share your thoughts below, and stay tuned, this fight is only getting bigger.